Ask me any question about the spirit world. Go on, don't be shy.
I don't have any questions. I don't ask you.
Ask something, man.
Or what? Like what? Like.
Alright, so the spirit world, let me just start off with random shit. The spirit world is something that is built into our minds, that is subconscious, that is just metaphors for shit. So like lizards is just a metaphor for people who take advantage of things to get ahead in life. Mostly people. It turns them cold-hearted like a lizard. And like spiders are just depressed people. Because like depressed people, they talk about their depression and they inject the depression into somebody else, and they inject the depression back into them like a spider, because depression breeds depression, you know? It's like happiness breeds happiness. Any questions from that?
So.
Alright, so the spirit world has different dimensions in it. All the dimensions, they're like tests, kind of, for you to figure out who you are. Or to figure out something that's true or not. Like people who think the world's out to get them, the world's not actually out to get them. They just have to realize that, and they have to believe that, and they'll stop feeling like that. Or like the people who think the Truman Show thing, the Truman Effect. People who believe their life is a TV show. Those people believe that their life is so exciting that their life is a TV show. It couldn't possibly just be, fucking, just crazy shit has happened. And the reason why it's so scary to people is because they're faced with reality and they don't want to accept reality. Do you have any like disorder you want me to explain? Because like dimensions of thought are all the disorders, even autism, anhedonia, psychopathy. Like psychopaths, when I was in that dimension, they didn't actually feel like they were hollow. Their words felt hollow. Like literally, like I don't know how else to describe it. They didn't feel it themselves. They felt like their words were hollow. You have to realize that, like, you have to start saying what you actually feel in order to get past that dimension. Or like the overlord dimension, the dimension that people call the devil, what he's in. His dimension is that he wants to take over the world and end everything and cause mass genocide and shit. You just have to realize that the world isn't that bad and you don't have to do that. Or the serial killer dimension, where most serial killers get trapped in that dimension. It's the beginning dimension. Well, not the beginning dimension. I call Mr. Robot dimension. That's where you're so far like delusional that, but you're not delusional. You're aware that you're not delusional. You're aware that it's hard to explain, but like you can cause delusions and hallucinations in yourself by just, it feels like strings. You can like twist your words into strings in your mind, and that creates the illusion of that. Like I felt super lonely, so when I was in that dimension, I felt like I wanted somebody to just hug me all the time. So I just talked to me, man. So I just created the hallucination that someone was hugging me all the time, like a warm, heartfelt, soft hug. But also in that dimension, I feel like the reason why I fell so hard is because I twisted the feeling of fear into safetiness. So I thought it was safety. Which is kind of true, because you want to be safe when you're in that dimension, or when you're scared. So you do everything you can to become safe. I did what I could do, which was just fucking believe that it was safety. Do you have any questions from that? Come on, man, give me a question, bro.
I don't have any.
Any mental illness you want? Give me any mental illness you want for me to describe and how to get past it.
Trichotillomania.
That's more of a habit, an addiction, than a mental illness.
Trichotillomania is mental illness. Trichotillomania is a mental disorder.
Yeah, it's a disorder, not.
No, it's been classified as mental illness.
DSM-5 is more of like a guideline.
Explain trichotillomania.
I'll explain it in the spirit world sense. Hair basically is basically your past, and eating basically absorbs. Like, so you're projecting what you want to happen onto yourself. You want other people to get rid of your past so it's not so painful by eating it. Eating it basically means digesting and getting over it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Any other question? See, schizophrenia, all these disorders, they're just metaphors for what really is going on, for what your brain is trying to tell you. Your brain is trying to tell you get past this thing. Basically, the fantasy realm, where people see pixies and fairies and shit, they gotta realize that you can't live in a fantasy. You have to live in reality. So I skipped over that one real fast. The rest of these, like, I skipped over fast because I just thought about them. The autism realm and the savant realm. I'm trying to remember what those were. Because savant realm is pretty intense. It basically meshes all your fucking senses sometimes for some people. It's more like a gift realm, honestly. But to get past it, you have to realize that you are not a robot. You're not another cog in the machine. You are a human being. You deserve to have emotions. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to be catered for. It also is basically like, get over yourself, though, because I'm trying to remember, but my memory is shit. There's more to life than just logic. There's more to life than just you. You're not that important, but at the same time, you're super important. You're important because you're you. You're important to yourself. That's what you should be important to. I find the most interesting dimension is the fake dimension, where everything feels like it's fake. In that dimension, you gotta realize that you're the one who's fake. And you gotta be able to change it and become real again if you're not too lost. Do you have any questions? I mean, I'm saying, like, all this isn't like a metaphor. If you have these things, and it's not caused by brain damage or you were born with it, or if it is caused by brain damage and you're born with it, then there's probably no fixing it until we find a cure. I'm talking to those people who are stuck in those dimensions when they have LSD trips. And then there's the dimension where you lose your inner dialogue. You have to realize that your thoughts are important too. You don't think stupidly, nobody does. Well, some people do. They might have stupid beliefs, but those are all subjective. And you need to work on it if people are constantly calling you out on your bullshit.
So, why do people
Go on, ask a question, man.
I just lost it. Why do I'm not used to this? I don't have any good questions that
Any philosophical questions?
meaning.
Need any wisdom, like on any situation?
So why is Marcus always why does Marcus always think that people should why does Marcus always think that people should handle situations like he does? And if we don't have nothing like his he does he does that to me a little bit.
Because that's one of the ways to pass through the dimensions is acceptance. He believes that you should accept everybody, because that's also a valid way to do it. The only non-valid ways to do it is like through hatred or through fear. You know, if you do it through hatred or fear, that's not actually wisdom, that's not actually advice, it's not actually something you should do. It's something that you're just doing because, oh, daddy hit me when I was young, you know? Not to downplay that, but like, that's just an example. Just check to see you're still on. The cartoon dimension, the one I'm at is considered